Well, welcome everybody. This happens to be our third event. We're changing format just a little bit. It occurred to me that the last two events that the judges were just too kind, just too nice to the team players. And so we'll have three judges tonight. Jerry Simonetti. Jerry's a cum laude graduate of Johnson Wales University. You've been in the restaurant business for how long, Jerry? 48 years. This guy, Jim King, has been traveling around the world, dining around the world, since he was 7 years old. David Angel. David played, as you might have guessed, played some basketball in his time. Played for Clemson, and then played in the European League for France, Italy, and Spain. And he lived in all those countries, and he is fluent.
Ate in all those countries.
Yeah, that's right. He ate in all those countries, and he still probably eats in all those countries. I'm asking our judges not to be demeaning to us cooks that are in the kitchen, but notice things that could be improved upon.
You're right
So, as you might have noticed, they're the black team, we're the red team. You know? This is what I call bruschettini. And it started out as bruschetta, and it grew. And as it grew into more of a stack of crostini. So I have dubbed this dish bruschettini. What it starts out as is grilled, what is a baguette, and this is a gluten-free baguette. Over the top of the grill marks that has olive oil on it, we put a first layer of prosciutto. The next layer is a mozzarella slice and a slice of roasted red pepper. And then on top of that is a Roma tomato quartered. Underneath there somewhere is a basil leaf. And so the side, the green, is a basil olive oil, and the little pieces of bread are for sopping up that basil olive oil.
So a little bit about our first course is it's a burrata that is coated with herb, spicy olive oil with capers that are also seared in spicy olive oil. Hope you enjoy it. So this next dish is it's spaghetti assassina. It's from the Apulia region of Italy. It's down near the Boot. It's kind of significant to me because that's where my mom's family is from, and I did a lot of research and tried to find something that was for her 80th birthday, something that was from that region. So I've done it before. I wanted to get it out here fast. It's gluten-free. It's made of corn instead of wheat, so it gets pretty thick pretty fast, but it should have a little bite to it. It's assassin's pasta, and they say that because you cook it like risotto, not a traditional boil in water. So you basically put it in the olive oil with garlic and kind of sear it before you add broth. And you keep adding the broth to it, and then it infuses into the pasta. And they say assassin's pasta, some of the chefs over there will actually scorch it, so to kill the pasta. There is a whipped ricotta and Parmigiano Reggiano. Hope you enjoy it. And there's a red that we want to serve with that, Sagrantino, if you guys want to try that. I don't know if you have a bottle at your table. We'll bring it out to you.
Sir?
This is pesce crudo. Pesce crudo means raw fish. So the Japanese, they don't have a trademark on raw fish. The fish is kampachi, which, if you wanted to compare that to sashimi, it would be yellowtail. This is the way that fishermen in Italy would typically do pesce crudo. They'd serve it with like pickles, and these are what my mother used to call spring pickles or summer pickles. A little bit of vinegar, a little bit of water, a little bit of sugar. Each piece of kampachi has a small leaf of dark mint, black mint, if you will, and a little flying fish roe, a few red grapefruit slices, and a strawberry that's kind of sliced up, and all of it's drizzled with olive oil, and I think the flavors meld very well. So enjoy.
Okay, the final one that our team is putting together here is braised potato, Yukon Gold potato. It's a pork, boneless rib, really pork shoulder, cooked a long time, and then a broccolini with thyme and garlic and some lemon zest and shallot. Hope you enjoy it. And the wine that we want to recommend is the Mezzogiorno, and so that I would recommend. I think that'd be a great pairing with that dish. Enjoy.
Okay, gentlemen, this is carpaccio. Carpaccio my way, if you want to say it. I'm not big on white sauce, so I'd put hollandaise on my white sauce, and I put it in a dollop instead of just smearing it all over the carpaccio. And I put a little dollop of prepared horseradish, because some people like their rare beef with horseradish. The salad is arugula. It's arugula, a little red lettuce, Parmesan cheese, and some strawberry with some special Raffaldini Vineyards olive oil. So enjoy. And the pairing will be Gallo Nero from Raffaldini. As I said earlier, all of these judges are nice guys, but I've asked them to be critical. Critical meaning compliment something that needs to be complimented, make suggestions as to how something can be improved, and then they're going to get their heads together and they can either vote separately, however they want to do it. They come up with a winner and a loser. And you get the mic first.
Oh, yay! Oh, since I get the mic first, I'm going to give it to you first.
So your crostini, I thought was very difficult to do because it was gluten-free bread. So the problem with gluten-free bread, very dry. So it needed, one, it needed olive oil, two, it needed seasoning. And then whenever you're dealing with a dry bread like that, it needs to be cooked fast on the outside so it stays moist on the inside. I probably would have did, because it was on the bland side, I probably would have did like a chili oil over the fish. Yeah, the carpaccio wasn't great. The hollandaise should have been more room temp, but it ate well. I thought it was pretty good. The meat itself needed a little bit of olive oil and some seasoning. Could have used, I generally do like shallots, cornichons, arugula, truffles, something like that. But I got to tell you, the horseradish was pretty good with it. On the other side, the burrata, it was too cold. My only issue with that. I mean, it should have been at least room temp. The pasta, pasta was severely undercooked. I would have maybe blistered it a little bit in olive oil, then a little white wine or stock, and let the pasta actually cook, maybe 50%. Then add my tomato a little bit more tomato, a little bit more tomato. Pork, amazing. Pork was great. The broccolini was underdone. Very well seasoned, but underdone. Potatoes were great. So that was like that was a highlight of the night, I think. So for me.
My criticism on the crostini is that one, it was charred, and the charred taste on the crostini was overpowered the rest of the crostini. But the other parts of that dish were amazing. I would have preferred to have the oil that you use, the spicy oil, poured on top of the mozzarella, because not until I cut into the salad and kind of mixed in the salad, the mozzarella, the capers, did I get that spice that was in the greens. But when I tasted it at the end, the last bite I had was really good. So, you know, that part of it was good. The pasta was a bomb. I'm sorry. It was under, for me. I couldn't eat it. It was not cooked. But the sauce was amazing. The cheese, that part of it was really good. But the pasta itself I couldn't. The appetizer, Dickie, with the fish, it just lacked a lot of flavor. I mean, I didn't get a lot of deep flavors in the fish. To me, maybe some spice in there would have been something that I would have looked for, but it was a little bit of bland. And the pork was amazing. I mean, that pork was something to behold. The potatoes, everything part of that. Again, the broccolini was undercooked. It would have been nice if that would have been cooked a little bit longer, but to me, that was a star of the night. That braised pork was just amazing. The carpaccio, I would have liked a little bit of pepper across that beef, a little bit of olive oil to give it a little more oil to that beef. So that's my input.
On the first part, Dickie had that burnt part of the bread. I thought gave it great taste, but it was a little overpowering for the mozzarella and for the meat. So I would make those just a little thicker, so you got something more than that. But it was very, very tasty. Whenever I finished off the bite, it was a nice finish, and that oil was outstanding. I thought the presentation was the best of the two. Was that presentation with the green swirl. Well done. For the second dish that Ken did with the fried capers, I thought they gave it a nice little salty edge. It needed that with the mozzarella, very flavorful in the bowl, and the mozzarella and the tomatoes There was the right number. The presentation was nice with that as well, with an even distribution of the. In the South, we call them Tommy Toes, the little baby tomatoes. The leaves were laid out well. They were the right size for the dish. But Dickie's swirl and the green olive oil, I just thought made a little better presentation. Taste of both were outstanding. On the second course, the pasta was a little thick and chewy. Now, I like that. That was pretty good. There are certain parts of Italy that, that you get the chewy pasta instead of the al dente. And that wasn't bad. But the taste and the flavor were outstanding. I think we all agreed on that. It was just a little chewy. So maybe from everybody, you cook it a little more, make it a little more al dente. The white cheese sauce was a very nice touch. The pepper was just the right amount. I'm so glad you put some pepper in here because it helped round out the taste. And the other cheese on the side, as you put the cheese around the side, I think that was Parmesan. That was a nice part of the presentation. It also gave it a little different flavor taste to it. On Dickie's dish with the fish, I would have probably used maybe a tilapia or something else that had a little more flavor. The roe was good, but I'm a big fan of black caviar, so maybe a little scoop of caviar, just something to lighten up. Like they said, it was just a little bland, but it was a nice taste. And the great thing about that was with the grapefruit or the strawberry, I took a bite and put the fish with a bite of grapefruit. It was an explosion in my mouth. The two of them together were outstanding. So I really, really enjoyed that. Presentation, superb. Ken's main dish on the last dish we had was outstanding presentation. The broccolini crisscrossed on the back looked great, along with the pork having two pieces of meat separated instead of one big old flat slab. I thought that was a nice touch in the presentation. Taste, outstanding. Again, like the other guy said, star of the night from a taste perspective. I thought that was wonderful. The broccolini could have been cooked more. I'm not a big fan of broccolini anyway, but it was flavorful. Could have been cooked a little more. I don't order it in restaurants, but I would have it again here, just like that. The potatoes, to me, on that particular dish, were the quiet star of that dish, because you had some burnt, you had some al dente, you had a little of this, a little of that. All the different types of potato were there, and the flavor was outstanding. So kudos on the potatoes underneath that very, very tasteful pork. On Dickie's gazpacho, really, really like this. I'm a big fan of steak tartare, so I was loving that. Now, unlike these guys, I took and I spread my horseradish, and then I spread the hollandaise across the whole thing, and then I cut it into squares and ate it, and it worked great. Very, very good seasoning. They paired well with the wines. Let me also compliment the wine pairings, because you guys came back. These were great pairings with the meals. I thought it was all very, very well done. So glad we're here. Thank you.
This is exactly what I had hoped would happen tonight, that we would have judges that were honest and made good recommendations and told us what they thought were the faults of the dishes and what were the merits of the dishes, and that's what I hoped to have accomplished tonight. And regardless, Chris, of which team wins, the judges have done a fantastic job here, and I appreciate it.
I think for all of us, when we scored everything, it ends up being Dickie's team is the winner of tonight's event. It was close, but I think the pasta is what kind of threw us over towards Dickie, and that everything else was, you guys did a great job. It was a grapefruit. But I want to thank you all, the cooks. So let's give a round of applause to the people in the kitchen. You guys rocked it tonight. This is what it's all about. It's about fellowship. It's about cooking. It's about having some great wine. And thank you, Raffaldini, because without you, we didn't have some really good wines tonight. Thank you.
What we did tonight was educational. We're learning from guys that have dined all over the world. So I'm sure that it was very, very close, and I can tell you that I loved every dish that you brought out, this team brought out, and really.
We would like to make it tough. It was outstanding.
Well, I know that, but we've already won, so that ain't changing. All right, so here's what this is all about. We call this event a Smashdown. So the winners get to smash the glass with the skillet. So Chris,
You know, there's some major arteries.
come on up.
Sure. You're the head.
No. This is all three of us.
On the floor, baby.
On the floor.
We're gonna do it on the floor.
Everybody take a
We're gonna do it right here.
Take a knee.
Does it take all three people?
And the bowls are on this side.
He's got it.
All right. And so we'll all hold it together.
I mean, I don't
I can't hold it by myself.
Take a knee.
All right, take a knee.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Jerry, thank you for opening up your house, Lily's Bistro, to us tonight. It has been the best event that we've had so far, and I can only see Skillet and Glass continuing to rise, and a lot of it has to do with you. You want to say a few words?
I want to thank my mother. Actually, my grandmother that I started cooking with when I was 4 years old. So, but anyway, it's been quite a journey. So knowing Dick over here, and it's been a lot of fun. Last event was a little tough. I just had spinal surgery, but he made me cook anyway. But yeah, I think this is just kind of a beginning of where we're going. Years to come, I think this is going to be a great thing. So, and I'm glad to be part of it. So thank everybody for coming tonight. I appreciate it.